For a while, I thought I was just indecisive when it came to picking a main. One day I'd play the same character and the next I'd be on someone I've never even thought of playing before. I kept telling myself that I was just looking for my character, a character that would make the game click like Elphelt once did for me. After a while, I had to be honest with myself. This had nothing to do with the character I was playing. It was about my loss in confidence in my abilities. I've only been playing Strive for about 10 months now, and over the last 2 or 3 months, I've been struggling. Not even with the game itself, but with me as a player. Every loss felt heavier. Every mistake felt more personal. The more frustrated I got, the easier it was for me to blame my shortcomings on the character and everything else, when in reality it wasn't the character, it was me. What I did realize was that even though the character swapping was rooted in frustration, it wasn't entirely pointless. Somehow, the swapping between characters ended up leading me back to square one. Back in March, there was a tournament hosted on the Guilty Gear community server. I ended up entering the tournament with my friends, and to put it simply, I got destroyed. Now, it isn't the losing that got me, it was the fact that the tournament felt like it exposed all of my weaknesses. My bad habits, my lackluster neutral, and overthinking, which led into me hesitating. The consistency and confidence I thought I had was shattered within seconds, and once your confidence gets obliterated, every whiffed 6P, every failed grab tech, and every dropped combo feels worse than it already is. First you start getting mad at the losses, and then you start getting aggravated at your character. And this didn't happen just because of the tournament. For months I've been stuck in the same spot. I play ranked, hover around the same spot, and wonder why I wasn't improving. Ranked started to feel less like practice and more like a judgment of who I am as a player, so every loss felt like proof of my skill. Here's when I started to question if I was even fit to play Elphelt anymore. I had psyched myself into thinking the character just wasn't for me. What if her damage sucked? What if she wasn't fast enough? What if she just wasn't for me? That spiral would lead me to start a cycle I didn't even notice until recently. Anytime I got aggravated or frustrated with a character, I would swap off. It was always at the same points too. The second a character didn't feel fresh, or new, or when I hit a point of actually learning the character beyond the surface, I dropped the character. When you're bitter, it's easy to ignore the cycle and justify it. I'm just learning. I'm just exploring my options. I'm just trying to find the right character. I was also using it as an excuse to just not improve. When you play a character for a while, you expect yourself to be good with the character and not make stupid mistakes. But when you're new to a character, every mistake feels easier to excuse. I'm 100% sure that's the whole reason the cycle got worse. The whole situation felt like I don't know who to main, when in reality, it wasn't that. Every character in the picking started to represent something. Melee and Rage represented the fast, momentum-based gameplay that I loved in most games, not just fighting games. I wanted to play her, but my neutral was still egregious. I swapped to Ramlethal, who was a more methodical and stable pick for me to learn neutral. I thought the bigger buttons and slower startup would urge me to play based off of neutral control. Unfortunately, I'm not the biggest fan of her slower characters, and her playstyle just didn't feel right. Even when I was using Ram and I knew I had to play slower, I was still playing how I'm used to playing. Other characters like Anji, Mito, Ino, Bridget, and Kai Kisk all became an escape for the real issues at hand. My confidence was shaken and shattered. No character would magically make me trust in my ability to play the game again. Weirdly enough though, these characters taught me things. Although I didn't really click with Ramlethal like I wanted, she helped with my spacing and patience in neutral. Bridget helped me learn more about set play Oki and how people respond to certain options. Anji Mito helped me with conditioning skills a ton. He also made me pay more attention to my opponent's 6P more and to stop forcing offense. So even though swapping came from a bad place, it didn't leave me with absolutely nothing. Comparison by far made it even worse. It's really easy to browse around the fighting game community and feel left behind no matter what you do. You see some people locked in with your main character, some people who look like they understand every facet of the character. Just the other day I was watching Daru Ino and Hatashi playing their characters at a high level, wishing I was able to play to their extent. And then you look inwards and all you see are the mistakes, the hesitation, the character swapping, the crushed confidence. The frustrating part was watching higher level Elphelt players and feeling like they weren't even doing something different from me. They were using the same tools, the same record pressure, the same 6P punishes, and the same basic game plan that I was. But it dawned on me that it wasn't the moves themselves, it was the decision making behind them. They knew when to stop, when to bait, when to meaty, when to throw, and when to reset back to neutral. I was missing consistency, not some secret Elphelt technique that I didn't know yet. At some point I had to ask myself, what was I even looking for? Was I looking for a main, or was I searching for a way to repair my confidence? I was clearly looking for a character to play, but was skipping the integral part of the improvement. There is no perfect answer waiting for you on the character screen. Picking a character doesn't automatically make you good with them. No character removes labbing, losing, adapting, plateauing, and actually thinking in the game. Realizing that myself was painful, but it did help relieve the weight off my chest. Eventually I'll be able to stop treating every character like a life raft to save me from a spiral. As of recently, I went back to Elphelt, and honestly it felt different. Not because I suddenly became amazing with her, but because I wasn't playing her with the same mindset. I wasn't just mindlessly pressuring Rekka and hoping it worked. I was thinking more about meaties. I was paying more attention to how I conditioned people. I was using the 6P more often. I was more comfortable in neutral. That's when I noticed that although the swapping was inherently bad and started from a negative place, it helped me understand Elphelt better and her game plan. Each of the characters had taught me something that I was subconsciously applying to my Elphelt gameplay. I don't think I'm completely over my doubts yet, but this doesn't mean I'll never try another character again. But I do understand myself as a player better. I wasn't searching for the perfect main, but a character that would make me feel comfortable again. Even after all that, I think I'm ready to play Elphelt again. For a long time. Not because she's perfect. Not because I'll never struggle with her. I just realized I didn't actually stop liking her. I had just lost confidence playing the character. I'm going into games trying to improve at one little thing at a time. So maybe this wasn't really the story of me losing my main. It was confidence, looking for other characters, and realizing I had to rebuild it myself. I'm still going to struggle. I'm not going back to Elphelt to prove something to somebody, but because I actually want to play the character for myself. Thank you guys for watching this video. I know this video is heavier than my usual stuff, but I just wanted to share my experience in case anyone else was going through a similar situation. This video is kind of late because I do drop on Saturdays and it's Monday, but I was sick, so I just tried to get this out whenever I could. That being said, I'm probably going to take a short break from the Strive until Saturday since there's another Kisk Derby tournament coming up and I want to have my brain as fresh as possible whenever we go into the tournament. I will be streaming the tournament on Twitch, so if you're interested, you can follow my Twitch. During the break, I will be playing fighters to get a perspective on other fighting games outside of Strive, especially since the game just got a new character and patch. People will be playing the game more, so it'll give me a chance to actually have fun with it. It also allows me to learn without constantly pressuring myself to be good at the game and give me a clearer headspace when I return to Strive. The next video is planned to be the first Persona video I dropped on the channel. Guilty Gear and also Rumble have been a huge part of my channel, but Persona is still the heart of my channel, and I'm finally happy to be able to release this video soon. It's not the video that you guys are expecting, but I'm sure you guys will like it anyways. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.